Imagine waking up every morning, not just chasing dreams, but living them. Imagine standing at the edge of your limits, only to realize you have no limits. The world tells you to wait, to play small, to settle. But you were born to break ceilings, to defy odds, to rewrite your story. Today, I'm going to reveal the secret to unstoppable success, a truth most people never dare to embrace. And if you want to take control of your life and dominate your future, hit that subscribe button now. This is not just motivation, this is your blueprint. The mission is simple: to fuel your motivation, sharpen your discipline, strengthen your faith in yourself, and mold a mindset so relentless that nothing, not fear, not failure, not doubt can stop you. This is not theory. This is the law of unstoppable success in action. The secret to unstoppable success isn't a trick, it's a lifestyle. A relentless pursuit of your vision, fueled by discipline, anchored in faith, and powered by action. Start today. Stand up. Take control. And if you're ready to transform your life into a story of victory, subscribe now because your future won't wait, and neither should you. A vision that ignites is more than a goal or a wish. It is a fire inside you that refuses to be extinguished, a force that pulls you forward when the world tries to hold you back. It begins as a picture in your mind, a clear image of what you want your life to be, but it must grow until it dominates your thoughts, shapes your decisions, and dictates the energy you bring to every single day. Most people drift through life because they settle for vague dreams, hoping something good will happen. But those who succeed have a vision so vivid that failure becomes temporary and obstacles turn into stepping stones. Your vision must be uncompromising, something that scares you because greatness is never comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of achievement. When you see your future with absolute clarity, it becomes impossible to waste time on trivial things or listen to the voices that tell you to give up. Every morning, you wake up to that vision and let it guide your actions, your habits, and the decisions that define your destiny. It should be so compelling that even the hardest days cannot shake your resolve, so magnetic that you cannot help but move toward it, no matter the cost. The people who achieve the extraordinary do not stumble into success by accident. They chase a vision that demands everything from them, that challenges them to evolve, to rise above fear, to master their emotions and their environment. This vision fuels obsession with progress. It sharpens focus when distraction surrounds you, and it gives meaning to every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every rejection. Without it, effort is scattered, and results are random. But with it, your energy aligns, your creativity multiplies, and your journey becomes unstoppable. Relentless discipline is the invisible engine that turns dreams into reality, the quiet force that separates those who talk about success from those who actually live it. And it begins in the small moments that most people ignore, the moments when no one is watching and temptation whispers in your ear to give up or take the easy path. Because greatness is forged not in comfort but in persistence, in showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results are invisible and the world doubts you. Because every habit you form compounds, every decision to stay focused multiplies, and every sacrifice you make builds an unstoppable momentum that propels you toward your goals. And this kind of discipline is not punishment. It is empowerment. It is freedom from the chaos of indecision and distraction. It is mastery over your own impulses and over the excuses that try to bind you. And it demands consistency, repetition, and an unwavering commitment to the standard you have set for yourself. Refusing shortcuts and instant gratification, refusing to let laziness dictate the course of your life. Because the truth is, talent is temporary, luck is fleeting, and inspiration fades. But discipline lasts forever. Discipline becomes a shield against failure, a bridge over uncertainty, and a weapon against procrastination. And when you cultivate it, you no longer need motivation to act, because your actions become automatic, driven by a system you have built and a standard you have declared, so that even when the world is tired, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable, even when fear and doubt knock at your door, your discipline carries you forward, And it is this relentless, unyielding, daily discipline that ultimately shapes character, produces results, and transforms ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Faith in the process is the quiet, unshakable belief that every step you take, no matter how small or unseen, is moving you closer to the life you are meant to live, and it requires patience, trust, and a willingness to endure the unknown, because the path to greatness is never linear. It is filled with setbacks, delays, failures, and moments that test your resolve, but those who succeed understand that every challenge is not a punishment, but a part of the journey, a part of shaping their strength, their character, and their resilience. And this faith does not mean blind hope or wishful thinking. It means committing to the work every day, trusting that the compound effect of consistent effort will eventually produce results that are far greater than you imagined. It means believing in your vision even when the world doubts you, when your mind screams that you are not enough, and when the progress seems invisible. Because true faith is not measured in immediate rewards, but in the courage to persist, to act, and to keep moving forward despite uncertainty. And when you develop this faith, fear loses its power, doubt becomes irrelevant, and obstacles transform into opportunities to grow, because you know that the process itself is teaching you lessons, strengthening you in ways that no instant success ever could. And you begin to see setbacks as signposts, failures as tuition fees, and struggles as proof that you are on the right path. And this mindset allows you to stay calm when storms hit, to remain focused when distractions appear, and to keep building, creating, and improving without needing external validation. And over time, the consistent trust in the process compounds, producing momentum, breakthroughs, and victories that would have been impossible without the unwavering belief that every effort, every sacrifice, and every challenge is shaping the unstoppable success you are destined to achieve. An unstoppable mindset is the foundation of all extraordinary achievement, the mental armor that allows you to face fear, failure, and doubt without flinching. And it begins with the choice to refuse limitation, to reject the narratives that the world or your past imposes on you. Because most people are defeated not by circumstances, but by the boundaries they place on their own thinking. And developing an unstoppable mindset means training your mind to see opportunities where others see walls, to focus on solutions when everyone else is distracted by problems, and to remain calm, confident, and resilient when chaos surrounds you. And it requires self-awareness, because you must recognize the thoughts, habits, and beliefs that are sabotaging your growth and replace them with ones that fuel courage, determination, and clarity. And it demands discipline, because a mind untrained will wander, will surrender, will succumb to fear, procrastination, and doubt. And it calls for relentless repetition, because thoughts repeated over time become beliefs. Beliefs shape actions, and actions produce results. And an unstoppable mindset thrives on challenges, seeing them not as obstacles but as tests, opportunities, and invitations to evolve. And it is fueled by purpose, because when your why is stronger than your fear, your mind becomes a weapon of progress, a force that cannot be deterred by setbacks, negativity, or criticism. And those who cultivate this mindset understand that failure is temporary, criticism is irrelevant, and resistance is necessary. And they move forward with unwavering confidence, taking bold action, persevering through adversity, and refusing to quit, because they know that the greatest victories belong to those who refuse to be broken, who refuse to accept limits, and who choose to believe in their potential with such intensity that the world cannot stop them. And over time, this mindset becomes second nature, guiding every choice, every action, every step toward the life of unstoppable success that is their destiny. Embracing pain instead of avoiding it is the secret weapon of every person who achieves greatness, because the path to extraordinary success is never paved with comfort, ease, or convenience. And the world teaches us to run from discomfort, to numb our struggles, to hide from challenges. But the truth is that pain is not an enemy. It is a teacher, a sculptor, a forge that strengthens your mind, your character, and your resolve. And those who refuse to confront it remain weak, stagnant, and average, while those who face it head-on transform adversity into advantage, obstacles into opportunities, and setbacks into stepping stones. And pain manifests in many forms: failure, rejection, criticism, disappointment, hard work, sacrifice, and relentless pressure. But each form is a lesson in disguise, an invitation to grow beyond your limits, to discover your inner strength, and to develop the resilience that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. And it requires courage, because it is human nature to recoil from suffering, to avoid discomfort, and to seek the path of least resistance. But courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act in spite of it, to push forward when your mind and body are screaming to quit, to endure when every fiber of your being wants to surrender. And by leaning into the discomfort, by allowing pain to refine you instead of define you, you create an unstoppable momentum that cannot be replicated by talent or luck alone. And this discipline to endure, to persist, to struggle intentionally, trains you to handle greater challenges, to overcome greater obstacles, and to achieve victories that others never imagined. And the greatest achievers do not seek comfort, they seek growth. And growth is always uncomfortable. Growth always demands sacrifice. Growth always tests your limits. And each moment of pain you face with courage compounds into strength, skill, and confidence, preparing you for the magnitude of success you are capable of. And when you embrace pain instead of fleeing it, when you understand that discomfort is the price of progress, you no longer fear challenges, setbacks, or failure, because you know that each struggle is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. And in this relentless pursuit, pain becomes fuel, adversity becomes opportunity, and your journey becomes unstoppable. Action over everything is the principle that separates dreamers from achievers, because vision without execution is nothing more than imagination, a fleeting thought that never impacts the world. And it begins with the understanding that bold, consistent, relentless action is the currency of success. Every step you take toward your goal compounds over time. Every small victory builds momentum, and every effort, no matter how minor it seems, is a brick in the foundation of your future. And most people wait for perfect conditions, for clarity, for motivation to strike, but the truth is that conditions are rarely perfect. Clarity rarely arrives without effort, and motivation is fleeting, unreliable, and unpredictable. And those who succeed do not wait. They act. They move. They create opportunities out of obstacles. They turn ideas into results. And this kind of action requires courage, because to act is to risk failure, to face uncertainty, and to expose yourself to judgment. And yet, every failure contains a lesson. Every risk contains a reward. And every step forward, no matter how difficult, builds experience, resilience, and skill. And action is not only physical effort, but mental commitment, the refusal to be paralyzed by doubt, procrastination, or fear. And it requires discipline to take action consistently, to prioritize progress over perfection, to push forward even when results are invisible. And it demands focus, because scattered action achieves scattered results, while focused, purposeful effort creates unstoppable momentum. And those who embrace action over everything understand that small steps daily are more powerful than sporadic bursts of effort. That momentum compounds faster than talent, that execution transforms ideas into reality, and that consistent action inspires confidence, builds character, and attracts opportunity. And they move boldly, decisively, and without hesitation, refusing to wait for permission, approval, or certainty, because they know that success favors those who act, not those who plan endlessly or hope passively. And every choice to act, to persist, to push forward even when fear is present, strengthens your trajectory, sharpens your resolve, and moves you closer to the life you are meant to live. And over time, the habit of action becomes unstoppable. It becomes instinctual. It becomes a force that propels you forward no matter the challenge, no matter the obstacle, no matter the circumstances. And when action dominates your life, results follow inevitably. Momentum builds exponentially, and the path to unstoppable success becomes inevitable. Persistence until mastery is the force that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Because talent alone is fleeting, luck alone is unreliable, and inspiration alone is temporary. But persistence compounds over time. It builds skill, resilience, and confidence. And it separates those who succeed from those who quit when the journey becomes difficult. And mastery is not a destination. It is the result of relentless commitment, repeated practice, countless failures, and the unwavering refusal to give up, even when the world tells you it is impossible. And most people quit at the first sign of struggle. They abandon their dreams. When progress seems slow, they give up because they cannot see immediate results. But those who persist understand that growth is invisible at first, that the seeds of success are planted in hard work long before the fruit becomes visible. And they learn to embrace the grind, to love the process, and to find satisfaction not in instant recognition, but in steady progress. Because persistence is patience in action. Patience fueled by discipline, by faith, and by a burning desire to become the best version of oneself. And it requires mental toughness, because every journey to mastery is littered with setbacks, failures, criticisms, distractions, and moments of self-doubt. But those who persist turn obstacles into stepping stones. They see failures as lessons. They use criticism as fuel, and they transform pain into power, because persistence is not blind repetition. It is deliberate, purposeful, focused action, taken every single day in the direction of your goals, refining, improving, adjusting, learning, and evolving with every attempt. And over time, persistence builds momentum that cannot be stopped, because it creates a compound effect. Small improvements adding up to exponential growth, incremental victories leading to monumental breakthroughs, and the person who refuses to quit becomes unstoppable. Because quitting is not an option, and the only way to fail is to stop trying. And mastery is earned, not given, and it demands relentless dedication, the courage to face repeated failure without surrender, and the discipline to practice when no one is watching, to improve when it seems pointless, and to believe in yourself when the world does not. And it requires humility to learn from mistakes, resilience to recover from setbacks, and obsession to keep going when everything in you wants to rest, to give up, or to settle for less. And those who persist until mastery achieve results that amaze. They create opportunities that others cannot see. They inspire others without trying. And they live a life defined not by luck or talent, but by the unstoppable force of their commitment. And persistence is the bridge between dreams and reality, between potential and greatness, between who you are and who you were meant to become. And every moment you choose to keep going, every time you refuse to quit, every step forward, even when it is painful, brings you closer to mastery, closer to the extraordinary life you are capable of living. And over time, the habit of persistence shapes you into someone who cannot be stopped, someone whose vision, skill, and courage align to create unstoppable success. Serving beyond yourself is the principle that transforms ordinary success into extraordinary significance, because true fulfillment and lasting impact are never found in selfish ambition alone, and those who achieve greatness quickly realize that personal achievement is fleeting, unless it touches the lives of others in meaningful ways. And the most powerful leaders, creators, and innovators are not defined by wealth, titles, or fame alone, but by the positive influence they create, the problems they solve, and the lives they uplift. And when you choose to serve beyond yourself, you connect your purpose to something larger than personal gain. You align your energy with impact, and you turn your talents, resources, and knowledge into tools for transformation. And this mindset requires courage, because it asks you to step outside comfort zones, to invest in others without immediate reward, to take risks for the benefit of a cause greater than yourself, and to embrace responsibility for making a difference when it would be easier to remain focused solely on personal goals. And those who adopt this mindset understand that service is not a burden, but a multiplier of success. Because when you create value for others, you attract opportunities, build trust, and establish a legacy that cannot be taken away. And serving beyond yourself requires empathy, because you must see the needs, struggles, and aspirations of others clearly, and it requires creativity to find ways to contribute, to innovate solutions, and to amplify your impact. And it demands consistency, because occasional acts of service are fleeting, but sustained effort to elevate others compounds over time, producing influence, respect, and results far greater than isolated achievements ever could. And this approach transforms relationships, communities, and industries. Because when your focus shifts from personal gain to collective benefit, you inspire collaboration, loyalty, and trust. You build networks that support mutual growth, and you create environments where everyone can thrive. And the beauty of serving beyond yourself is that it creates a cycle of abundance, where your contributions return to you, multiplied, not merely in material rewards but in knowledge, experience, reputation, influence, and fulfillment. And it reinforces your commitment to your vision, because your goals become intertwined with the well-being and progress of others, giving your work meaning that extends far beyond personal ambition. And it requires humility, because you must accept that the best outcomes often come from collaboration, listening, and learning from those you serve. And it demands resilience, because the impact you create is not always immediately recognized, and challenges and resistance will test your dedication. And yet, every effort, every act of service, every time you prioritize purpose over ego, builds momentum, cultivates respect, and establishes authority in a way that cannot be bought or faked. And over time, this mindset transforms ordinary success into extraordinary influence, personal achievement into legacy, and fleeting victories into enduring impact. And those who serve beyond themselves become unstoppable not only because of their skill, discipline, or vision, but because they tap into the infinite power of contribution. And in doing so, they leave a mark on the world that outlasts them. They inspire generations, and they create a life that is meaningful, significant, and truly unstoppable. And when you align your success with the service of others, every action, every choice, every effort you make becomes a force for good, a catalyst for change, and a step toward a legacy that defines what it truly means to be successful. Now is the moment to rise, to take every lesson, every principle, every spark of vision, and turn it into unstoppable action. Because the life you dream of will not come to you passively. It must be seized with relentless faith, unwavering discipline, and a heart willing to embrace, challenge, and serve beyond itself. And when you commit to this path, when you refuse to quit, when you take bold action every single day, you will discover that limits are illusions, fear is temporary, and success is not just possible, it becomes inevitable. So, stand up, take control, chase your vision with courage, and live a life so powerful, so impactful, and so unstoppable that it leaves the world better than you found it and leaves your own mark forever.